Hello, Flat Earthers. Today I'm going to share with you some ideas that I've been having. Today I woke up really creative and I decided to put it to work. So, of course, we're going to need some basic items like markers and scissors, paper, the lids to make the circles. I have paint in the corner, white paint, and then I have right here, this is a map that I drew on tissue paper, and then I transferred it to this plastic, as you can see. That way you can use it more than once. And then I have some lids to do this. I did a little one also. Now look at this. So here's my little flat earth model. You can put it into a container like this, plastic that you can find anywhere, and this will be a little tiny model. You can also use, for example, this honey jar that I saved. I painted the cap white, and I can put my little map of the flat earth inside, and then I can put this in here. So this firmament is a little bit taller, or of course you can do this too. So any type of little bowl can be used, and you can actually show your family so they can understand the flat earth model. Now I also came up with a motto today, an inspiration. I don't know if somebody has already come up with this, but it's the fact that it's a bowl, not a ball. So as you can see, I used some cleaner liquid for this. So this is a real depiction of what our Earth may be, with the rim being the ice rim of Antarctica. So I'm going to set it here, because I'm going to do something else with that. And of course, I have this little tiny one that I could also draw a map, this little tiny, and make this little flat earth. So we have all kinds of different sizes of flat earth. And the one thing also that I wanted to show is with this plastic, you can actually use a plastic plate and draw on it the same thing. So as you can see, I drew the paper, the map, and then I painted again the edges with white paint to represent Antarctica. And then on the bottom, you can use one of these circles, color it blue, and then set it under. Now I have one already completed, and you can see once you color the paper. So I just, stuck it in there. And that can be another plate. Doesn't look like a bowl, but at least it has some depth, and at least we can see the ice wall. So I'm going to set this here, because now I want to show you something else. I have this piece of styrofoam that was from some item that I purchased. So it occurred to me that if we use this as an ice shelf, we could actually set our bowl here, and that can represent Antarctica, because we don't know how big it is. It could be bigger than this, right? So it could represent, I thought it was cool that I could use something like that to explain to people what we mean when we say that Antarctica, it's could be really, really huge, and it could be that we don't know how big it can get. So then I have another one that it gets really fancy, and of course I'm going to put the dome over that in a minute. So I have this very fancy one, because this is real glass, and my auntie gave me this this cover, this lid. It's a cake container, and see how you can make a really cool flat earth with this. And I have the sun and the moon, And I don't know if you can see the moon right there. Right there. So these two, I'm planning to also put a, let me just find the other lid. Okay, so over here, I'm going to use this because I want to show you how this can represent Antarctica. Okay, so again, the ice shelf, we don't know how big it is, so that can be the four corners of the earth like the Bible talks about. And then the last one is going to be my other lid, which I'm looking for, but I don't know where I put it. And I'm going to pause it so I can find it. Okay, thank you for your patience. So here's my other, I'm supposed to color that one yellow, so that will be my sun and the moon. But this is an interesting lid that I found that if you notice, it's actually like a square on the ends. So I was thinking that the firmament, we don't really know what shape it is. I mean, we tend to think that it's like a bowl with a dome, and that's great. But I was thinking that this would be interesting because I can actually set it here, and this actually can show you that we can have a type of dome that is kind of like square at the bottoms, and it could have the corners of the earth inside the dome. So when the Bible talks about the four corners, then here it is. Now, of course, once we go outside, if we could high jump, like Operation High Jump, then we would walk, and we don't know how far, right? But I thought that was interesting. If I find a bigger one of these, then it can cover more part of it, and it would still may show the corners of the earth inside the dome, and then the circle, like the Bible talks about the circle, the continents. Then we have our ocean in there. So again, you can do all these things with items that you have at home. So you can play with it and have fun, so you can show people your flat earth model. And let me know what you think about the ice shelf, because I thought that was an interesting thing that I haven't seen in some of the other models. So again, there's my, let me just see if I can move this a little so that I can actually get a bigger shot of the dome with the glitter, the stars, and my ice shelf. And of course, I have all these little boxes that I can use for my little tiny models, where I can I will make a hole in that box, and then that would be my other model. And then I can also do a tiny one and put it here, because I think that once people start seeing these examples, then they can get a better idea of how to create their own. Now over here, if you notice, this piece of styrofoam has these circles, which I thought it was interesting that they could even be the other little puddles. Some people believe that it is more land out there and that there's no dome, but they believe that they may be other puddles. So if I actually draw the map in there, that could represent another one. But anyways, I do believe in the Bible. I believe that we have a dome. And that's why, and I really like the square one, because I like to have the corners of the earth inside. So again, let me know what you think, and stay flat.